Hey, how's it going? It's my first walk away video. I'm gonna be my last, obviously. But a little bit about myself. I'm a gay man who's no longer part of the LGBT community, but that can be. I walked away from that too, so that can be also another fucking hashtag, I guess. I'm also very fond of metal music and playing guitar. My dream was always to be, a big time musician and make something of myself, but I started looking on reality for a bit. I had a little reality check, passed to me in my mail, so I understand now. Doesn't hurt to keep trying, but anyway, so long story short, how this kind of started for me was I kind of started watching what the news media was how they were reacting to it. But the first time in American history, how I feel is I've never seen any news organization be so negative about the election of Donald Trump. I never thought I would see people react to such a thing like this, and it started to make sense how this was working. I think the sole reason as to why this is happening as of right now is because he said himself he's going to work his best to expose the corruption in our government, and that's exactly what the insiders do not want. And as I'm watching this, I'm also simultaneously I'm very active in social media. That's the thing. I love to talk to people, but my entire newsfeed was literally covered with nothing but arguments and people that losing friends, people blocking each other, people losing their shit over an election, over opinions. How bigoted is that? I don't understand why people act like this or have the audacity to cut a tie with somebody you may have known for so long just over something they believe. I would start to see friends pop up and say they voted for Donald Trump. And it was like they went into hiding about who they wanted voted into office. And I thought that was a little funny too, that people actually had to hide and pretend that they weren't even supporting this man. And I thought that was fucking weird to me. What caused all that? So I started looking more into it. I saw that people were rioting and beating people up just for wearing a fucking red hat. Or, wearing a shirt, anything like that. I'm seeing, people, bloodied in the face. I saw a video where, this mother, tried to kick her son out of the house just because he voted for Trump, in school. It was, a little play along with, do things, in the classroom. I remember doing this when I was a kid and growing up, and I thought it was awesome. And this person's there's a video of this, somewhere. A good friend of mine actually got this clip. I don't know how the fuck he got it, but it's real. It's fucking real, and it's scary. It's almost sickening. Just watching that, I almost cried, thinking that people can actually treat their kids like this, abuse them like that, over this. That's fucking unreal. He's a kid. All because these people are infatuated with so much to believe that everybody's a Nazi, everybody's a Russian robot, everybody's white supremacists, just because you believe a certain way. And so then I started listening to all these claims of what, that he's a xenophobe, he's a homophobe, he doesn't like the LGBT community, he held the fucking flag upside down. Who cares? What fucking side that the rainbow is on? It really does not matter. Why does this fucking matter? He's trying. He's an old guy, give him some fucking credit. I would see, I would look up examples, why is Trump racist? Why is he a sexual predator and all that stuff? The whole grab her by the pussy shit was, you could definitely hear it. It's nothing but locker room talk. They took that shit way out of context with CNN, or MSNBC, whoever aired it to begin with. I started watching full videos instead of anything altered, for your optimal, just wanting to view anything in general. I would try my best to actually look into the full story of just about everything that was happening around me. I've never seen news articles and organizations or anything broadcasted in general by the news media to fabricate so many lies, so much content. It baffled me, really. I never seen that in my entire life. It's interesting to watch because this has been going on ever since he even, you know, announced that he's going to run for president. It's really weird to see them making such an effort to, you know, create all these, you know, like, these atrocities about him, like, you know, what he does, you know, having 2 scoops of fucking ice cream. Like, how is this fucking news? How is this news to anybody? I don't understand that. And it just started, and that's when it finally hit me. This is nothing but a smear campaign. It's mudslinging. It was a propaganda technique to get people to not vote for the guy in every way possible, and they fucking failed, which is more baffling to me. Even stranger. They all failed. He still got elected, and that told me something. It doesn't matter what these people say. It was just like, it was like the people finally gave in and said, you know what, we're not going to tolerate this anymore, which is a good vast majority of a good amount of people. In fact, I would go as far to say that when I changed my mind, went from the left to right, it feels like I'm in a whole other, like I'm in a whole other universe. Like I must have like walked into a parallel universe, and now here I am. You know, like things have just changed completely. It's like it's kind of like conservatism is the new counterculture. While I stayed on the left for a good while, that was another thing. It was just extremely depressing. It was so depressing to the point, like, I felt like I didn't, you know, matter in the world anymore. There was some, like, everybody who I was, you know, I knew or I was friends with on Facebook, they, I'd see just nothing but arguments constantly. I'd see people, like, just losing their shit. People unfriending everybody, just getting nuts. People like this, you know, and this sounds like a, you know, generalization, but it kind of is. Just live streaming, you know, beating the shit out of somebody with the red cap or supporting Trump. No wonder people fear for their lives. And the worst part is, these people don't realize that this is what's actually making everybody come into the arms of, like, the Republican side. It's just all this bigotry and intolerance and just, like, this hatred. It's a scary place to be. It's like, it kind of feels like if you were, like, still a part of that, like, I would feel like myself that I was a hateful person just by being a part of that community. And I just had to leave. It just was too much for me. I couldn't enjoy jokes anymore. I couldn't, like, you know, eat half the time. I was kind of depressed. You know, just watching how everybody was acting. And I felt like half the time that our world was fucked. Like, everything was just going to happen all wrong. Everything was just, you know, like, we're going to get nuked. We were just going to, like, oh boy, was I wrong. I was very wrong. And so they were. Ever since I now consider myself a conservative, I kind of feel like I belong somewhere for once. Because I was so much in the middle. I don't know why I voted for Gary Johnson in the first place. It didn't make sense to me now. Now it really does. Because now I'm seeing it in action. In fact, I would go as far as to say as the freedom of information due to the internet, to WikiLeaks, anything in general like that, of that nature, is what is the sole purpose of what got him elected. Because now there's more information. There's less of a chance of fabricating. Well, actually, people can easily fabricate anything on the internet, but there's a lot more sources, which are a little bit more helpful than most. I also want to make the thing one fucking clear. It's really important. I don't think all liberals are like this, but a good portion of them are. I have a lot of good close friends I talk to on a regular basis who, you know, are liberal, leftists, whatever you want to call them. And oddly enough, they'll sit down and try to have a civil conversation with you, which I highly respect that. And I praise that. I'm glad for that. You know, that can happen still. But it's not often. It's not often at all, which is the sad part. Alright, the best way I'm going to close this video is I'm kind of hoping that somewhere down the road we can all love each other once again like we used to. And I really don't know what else to say. Best way I can say it is, like, I'm kind of hoping, like, things get better. It's getting pretty late for me. I gotta be turning in. Hopefully this worked out a little bit. Hopefully this was a little bit entertaining. But I never thought I would see myself ever become a conservative Republican, just based on like observation and just how people act these days. Like it just like it, I think that was the reason why I came in. I came over on the side in the first place. Just generally just watching how everybody was acting. Little tidbits of information here and there was skewed about. That also the news media screwing everything up. That screwed me up too. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and close this. I really don't know what else to say. I hope this was an okay video. Hopefully in 2020 we'll have a really good year. And wish you luck. God bless America.